Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Thursday, February 27th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thank you for watching.
Amazing that she died on Valentine's Day because she loves so many people.
A caring, dedicated, loving volunteer. That's how friends of Madeleine Haller remember her today.
I feel very blessed to have had her in my life.
Haller passed away in Kitchener on February 14th, but her legacy at St. Mary's General Hospital is still strong.
A remarkable woman. She had a vision for this place, and yeah, she is greatly missed.
Haller decided to start volunteering at St. Mary's around 1969 and remained there for over 40 years.
She just absolutely loved it and thrived on it, and the friendships that she made.
Her volunteer work centered around the gift shop, which sells items to raise money for the hospital and was named after her following renovations on the building.
In the past, it was just a little piece of the hospital, and then they built the addition in 2003. And so she was kind of the creator of what you see here today.
Haller always tried to have unique items on sale while also lending an ear to anyone in need.
I always popped into the gift shop. It was a great place to kind of clear your head, not think about what was going on with your patients. And Madeleine was always very friendly and enjoyed talking to us.
Christmas was wonderful. She always did this beautiful tree, and of course we would have gone shopping for all of that beforehand and picked it all. She was very, very determined and a very driven kind of person.
Born in Kitchener, Haller was also a member of the St. Francis Parish and the Catholic Women's League, always working to support her community.
She was dedicated to this work, to St. Mary's Hospital, to the work of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and she gave her time, talents, and treasure.
A loving wife, a mother to 4 children, a grandmother of 4, and a great-grandmother of 5. Haller eventually stepped back from her role at the hospital, but before passing, she spoke about her time volunteering in a video for the hospital's 100th anniversary.
The one thing about working at St. Mary's, it feels like home. Of course, it's close to home, but no, it's the people that you work with that turned out to be quite nicely wonderful friends.
Madeleine Haller was 97. Colton Weens, CTV News, Kitchener.
Hundreds of students training to be first responders jumping into action.
There's about 17 casualties approximately right now.
Applying lessons learned to a mock disaster at Centennial College.
The basic general scenario is that Centennial City has been suffering from a heat wave. So the hospital's overloaded, all kinds of heat-related injuries, and now we have a tornado approaching.
This simulation creating absolute chaos, resulting in buildings collapsing,
How did you get in this position?
to injuries at an electronic dance music festival and a professional soccer match. Actors play the injured who are rescued, assessed, and treated by students training to be firefighters, police, paramedics, and nurses.
What we're in essence doing is mimicking and recreating what's already happened, and we're preparing our students to, once they graduate here, for real-life experiences.
Make sure that the structure is safe.
More than 500 people taking part in this exercise.
I didn't think it was going to feel as realistic as it does.
Nataki Tajwar is a second-year Police and Public Safety Foundation student.
I think it just mostly teaches us collaboration and teamwork.
Hey, you see no sign.
Throughout the exercise, first responders and practitioners with years of experience assessing and coaching these students as they deal with mass casualties and multiple crisis calls.
We have an amazing ability to self-adapt in crisis, and we want people to experience that.
And they come out of here knowing that even in the real world, when they're hired, say, by a local fire service, they'll be at an incident where the communications is very difficult. They're going to call back and go, you know what, I've experienced this.
Centennial College has performed these mock disaster exercises for 20 years.
As more and more patients started going into my pod, it became a little bit overwhelming.
For practical nursing student Tevin Frost, it's a hands-on learning experience like no other.
If I ever encounter a sort of situation like this in my real practice, I can say, oh wait, I've done something like this before.
Mike Walker, CTV News.
It's a sea of pink here at Denray Gardens Elementary School. I would show up to school.
The last Wednesday of February marks Pink Shirt Day in Canada, which raises awareness of anti-bullying initiatives. And at today's assembly, the message was clear.
And you need to be kind because if you're not, people can feel left out or alone or just feel like people are being mean to them.
It's a message Samara O'Gorman works tirelessly to get out. She's the English Montreal School Board's ambassador for compassionate leadership, and she shares her own experiences about being bullied because of the way she dressed.
I was targeted in schools for the ways that I chose to express myself, which I share with the kids. I find that silly, you know? I feel like we should be treated the way we choose to treat our friends and our peers and our classmates.
The initiative started in Nova Scotia 18 years ago when two teenagers and their friends organized a protest. They wore pink in sympathy with a grade 9 boy who had been bullied for wearing a pink shirt. Now, according to the Pink Shirt Day website, 180 countries participate in the movement. Quebec data shows more than 10% of students 12 years and older were bullied.
It makes me feel sad for the people that are getting bullied because I don't think nobody should be getting bullied.
This grade 5 student says it's important to speak out.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that I think they get bullied by other people, and I usually stand up for them if I'm there or if I see what happens.
It's a small effort that can make a big difference. And for this kindergartner, wearing a pink shirt simply means there's more love to spread.
We could show people how much we love each other.
A kind message teachers and parents hope will stick. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
Freshwater Conservation Canada is hosting a 3-day event called the Alberta Native Trout Science Workshop. Leslie Peterson says the goal is to identify threats affecting local trout and come up with solutions.
In Alberta, we have 3 stream-dwelling native trout that are all federally and provincially listed as either threatened or endangered. So that's all of our stream-dwelling native trout. They're all in trouble.
The native fish are the West Slope cutthroat trout, bull trout, and the Athabasca rainbow trout. The event is for people with a vested interest in restoring habitat and trout populations here.
We're hearing from, academia, NGOs, provincial, federal government, First Nations. Everyone kind of brings something different to the table, so we all have to know what each other is doing so that we can kind of coordinate our own activities.
Amy Berlando's organization focuses on the sensitive areas around water bodies that have a big impact on fish.
The overhanging leaves will provide shade. As wood falls into stream, it provides complexity for habitat, gives fish places to hide. It shades the stream, creates deep pools for them to overwinter. So what's happening on the land is critical for what's happening in the water.
Ben Kissinger studies how water temperature impacts fish health. He says unlike humans, fish can't regulate their own body temperature, and if it's too hot, they'll die.
Some species do better than others, and so that's where having non-native species or species that might exist in those warmer habitats could result in encroachment or competition with our native species, adding a whole nother layer of challenges to recovering these species on the landscape.
Organizers say this is a networking opportunity with a goal of recovering native fish species in Alberta. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Lunch is here, folks. Yay!
It's more than just a lunch.
It's so meaningful.
Sarah Allen Wiseman smiles at the thought.
I cannot express how much I look forward to Wednesdays and Fridays when we get lunch days. It just brings us all together. Oh, it's delicious.
It's not takeout or potluck. Twice a week, it's food that's donated to Roger Nielsen Children's Hospice.
We take our food, we sit at the table and eat. Staff, volunteers, families, we can all gather together and have such a nice time.
The donated meals come from a cafeteria at an Ottawa high-tech firm of all places. When this bistro scaled back during the peak of lockdowns, they pivoted.
We thought we could utilize that for groups and areas in the community that could really benefit from it.
And even after lockdowns kept going. Since 2020, Ottawa tech company Lumentum has donated thousands of meals.
Once we got started, it was hard to stop, to be perfectly honest. In the next 2 weeks, we're actually going to hit 100,000 meals delivered from the inception of the program.
Donating to women's shelters, long-term care, homeless shelters.
It's been the most rewarding thing I've been involved in personally.
It's always done by hand.
The food is cooked, prepared, and packaged at Lumentum.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And delivered personally.
I look forward to seeing them every week and make sure that they get the food that that they deserve every week.
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
Warming tummies and hearts on days that can be tough.
We do have some really difficult days here sometimes, and to know that we are going to be taken care of with a nutritious meal is really such a lovely thing for us here.
And really, it brings us back. It really helps us to connect as a team, helps us connect with our kids, with our families. So it's really, really impactful.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Hey, Kel. What you doing, girl?
Colin Wright is visiting his daughter Kelly at her home.
Oh, Kelly loves it here. Kelly is happy here.
She has been living in a specialized home for adults with developmental disabilities for the past 20 years.
You want to know your child's safe, and you want to know that when her nose needs wiping, it gets wiped. You want to know when her diaper, in this case, needs changing, it gets changed. Her clothes are clean. Her food is good.
It's run by Care Housing Society, a nonprofit that builds and maintains homes for people with developmental disabilities. It also provides peace of mind for families.
If I wanted to go on a holiday to Hawaii or Mexico or something, I don't worry. I know she's taken care of.
This is one of 3 homes Care Housing Society runs.
So if you come into Kelly's room,
every home has 5 tenants and 24/7 care. Each construction is a costly endeavor, requiring specialized beds, windows, hallways, and bathtubs.
that's a $35,000, $37,000 bathtub.
The Society plans on opening a 4th location. It's currently fundraising to have renderings become reality.
There are people that need help, and we need to build homes that are especially for them. We need to make sure that they're safe.
The nonprofit still needs to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. They want people to know just how life-changing these homes are.
It gives them the opportunity to move out and have a life with their friends.
Their next fundraiser is in March. Naronisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
It resembles a frosted gingerbread house, an appropriate location for a business well known for making elaborate cakes.
And then when this place came up, it's such a beautiful house and the history to it.
The McIntyre Street building had been vacant for a while after the Turgeon Youth Hostel closed. Queen City Cakes has restored it to its original splendor.
Every room is a different vibe. So when you come to Queen City Cakes, you can have a different experience in every single room, and it's like you're somewhere completely different.
Originally, the house was located just a couple of blocks away on Angus Street in the Cathedral neighborhood. It was built in 1906 for William Logan, who was the first manager of the Northern Crown Bank. Alphonse Turgeon, a well-known politician, diplomat, and Saskatchewan Chief Justice, resided in the home from 1910 to 1920. The house faced demolition in the early 1980s to make way for this government housing complex, but was saved by the Hosteling Association and relocated to its current location. Now it has been transformed into a cake shop with multiple brightly decorated gathering rooms. Brittany Gogol was the interior designer.
I have a background in history as well, and I love history, and so to work on a project like this was really exciting.
It will be a place for afternoon teas and birthday parties.
And we love the decor, we love the aesthetic, the black and white room and the flowers in the other room.
It's a beautiful place to come, and I think it's one of a kind in Regina.
The youth hostel made a significant investment in saving this building, and now Queen City Cakes is furthering the work. It's one of the best preserved structures of its type in Regina, ensuring that this historic building will continue to be an asset to the neighborhood for decades to come. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Number 68 there is a mourning brooch that is woven from real human hair.
Accessories, toiletries, and more are now on display at the updated Functional to Fancy exhibit. The items featured are either donations from or inspired by the Fairbanks, Prescott, and Mott's, 3 Dartmouth estate families.
The original exhibition was finished in 2023. I actually got to work on it when I was still a heritage interpreter here. After I came back as executive director, I really wanted to have a look at everything that we had done and spend some more time making it meet its full potential in terms of showing off a lot of the beautiful accessories that we have in our collection.
When you walk through the exhibit, you get a glimpse of what mattered to these families.
It gives people a glimpse back in time to what Dartmouth would have been like hundreds of years ago, what people would have worn, what they would have been interested in terms of fashion.
Items ranging from early 1800s to early 1970s.
We have purses and handbags on display, eyewear and pocket watches, clocks, necklaces, bracelets, hats, really everything. I just love this one too.
Recent upgrades include:
we redid all of our labels and all of our panels. A lot of it was to bring it up to accessibility standards, so it's better for more folks to be able to read. We also brought in a number of new artifacts.
The team says the public is fascinated by the artifacts.
I think people really like it. There's a lot of really pretty things in the exhibit.
The museum is always working on new exhibits, all free for the public to enjoy. Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
For Colleen Hamilton, being a part of this event to tackle the housing crisis is one way she can ensure a better future for herself and others.
I've never been unhoused, but 2 weeks from being unhoused because of working, you got to always figure out where you're going to pay your rent the next month.
She's been in a wheelchair for 7 years. Finding safe housing is a challenge she hopes to help others with by starting a directory of accessible and affordable housing.
They have a lot of issues to begin with to find a house. Now try to find a place that is able for disability.
Stories like Hamilton's adding to the hundreds of others, which is why this homeless advocate is encouraged by this event.
I lost too many friends last year. One of them passed away on my floor in my house. I was in shock for 8 days. That's what made me jump in head first to this, not to lose no more people.
Groups here include the Open Door Society, Saskatoon Tribal Council, Food Bank, police, and others.
They were all working themselves, but now let's get together and get something in motion here.
It's organized by the Lived Expert Advisory Council under the U of S Community Institute for Social Research.
It was designed by those who've been through housing insecurity and homelessness is a big factor. They were determined that we would talk about some of the key issues and that it wouldn't end here.
With about 1,500 people homeless in Saskatoon right now, it's hoped that this event will bring about real change for the future.
That governments won't act unless we say this needs to be addressed. This is a crisis, and it's a crisis of human rights.
The plan is to take the findings here today and create an action plan with follow-up workshops and training. Carla Shinkrook, CTV News, Saskatoon.
This trio of medical researchers is hyper-focused on an area of study most of us would flush away: poop. Together, they have launched the world's first overview of poop pills, designed to extend the lives of advanced pancreatic cancer patients. The team is searching for healthy poop donors who can offer hope to patients currently facing a 5-year survival rate of less than 10%.
So the possibility that this new approach, which has been very helpful in some other forms of cancer, particularly melanoma and lung cancer, could be extended to people suffering with pancreatic cancer is very exciting.
The 2-year Phase 1 fecal transplant study will see patients consume a large quantity of tasteless and odorless pills in one sitting. It's hoped the microbes inside each capsule will offer cancer patients a better chance to fight their tumors during chemotherapy.
We also know from earlier science studies that there are bugs that live in the tumor itself, and there's some evidence that says changing the gut bugs will actually change the tumor bugs. So if we can change those tumor bugs, we think that we can make the chemotherapy work better.
Already, poop pills have improved the lives of those battling other types of diseases and cancers. But you might be surprised to learn that the best type of human poop is in short supply. Only 1 in 43 samples passes the quality test. Those who do are coveted by the team.
When you are, you really have like golden poop, and you can really save lives.
And in the case of pancreatic cancer treatment, it's possible your poop's power will be fast-tracked.
In some cancers, the patients are doing really, really well. The survival is like 10 years. So when you add a treatment, technically you have to wait 10 years to see what happens. But with pancreatic cancer, the median survival of 8 months. So you'll see something, you know something faster than you expect from other cancers.
Contact information to become a fecal transplant donor is on our website and app now. In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Well, why not say yes to the perfect dress? A Barrie organization is helping students shine at prom and graduation, and it's all for free.
So this all began 20 years ago. It's our 20th anniversary.
Prom Glitz is a volunteer-run, not-for-profit organization, and this year marks 20 years of helping students afford the most glamorous gowns. Volunteers have dedicated their time to collect hundreds of dresses, shoes, and accessories, ensuring everyone can attend their big day or night in style.
We get so much out of being volunteers with Prom Glitz. It's just wonderful to see the smile on the girls' faces and their families, because it's very expensive now to buy a brand new dress for prom or grad. And we have dresses that came from stores, they're brand new, still have tags on them. We have dresses that maybe someone wore once.
Prom Glitz boutique days are held at the former Labels location at the Barrie Kozlov Center, and all dresses are free, but cash donations are always welcome to help keep the program running.
Finally, this evening, we take you to the community of Hurst and an animal rescue. OPP officers were on routine foot patrol in the downtown this afternoon when they were told about a cat stranded on a rooftop, and police say the feline was under attack by ravens and was in distress. There's a cat right there. Municipal workers in Hurst sprang into action, and a bucket truck was used to rescue the cat. And we're told a new OPP recruit started her first shift in Hurst today. What an unforgettable way to begin her career, and the cat was safe.
As Kelly Milite looks back on her son Osher's past, she fondly remembers how her 10-year-old would ask to buy vintage blazers and do stand-up comedy at birthday parties.
He's always been his own little dude.
But then Osher's mental health started unexpectedly suffering. None of the usual treatment seemed to help, although gardening with his mom always made him smile.
The daffodils that you see out front, he and I planted together that fall.
That was before the day Osher suffered that excruciating headache, lost control of the right side of his body, was rushed to hospital, and diagnosed with having a cancerous brain tumor.
We didn't know if he was going to make it. I thought that's what all I was going to have left. Were those daffodils?
Osher never saw the flowers bloom that spring. He was in the midst of treatments at multiple hospitals for more than 8 months. And although he was left unable to move his left side or answer simple yes or no questions.
What could you do? I could sing. Let it be, let it be.
Although Osher couldn't recall his age, he could sing every lyric to every one of his favorite songs.
Love the shack, baby.
The doctors urged Kelly to contact a certified music therapist.
Hello.
And Osher started working with Supriya Calathil-Crocker.
We know that music touches the brain instantly, quickly, and across the board.
After several months of working with Supriya, Osher's mental health is flourishing, his body's begun moving. And after the latest diagnosis from his doctor,
I got the news today.
is writing his first song.
I beat cancer, hooray. When I focus on how far he's come, it's amazing. He's accomplished so much.
I'm getting stronger every day.
Although Osher is just beginning his healing journey, Kelly couldn't be more grateful. It includes caring professionals, a stop to appreciate their blooming flowers, and a soundtrack filled with hopeful hits.
And bring your jukebox money.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
Love Shack, baby.